What's going on, fragrance family? It's your man Gator, better known as the novice nose out here in these fragrance streets. Guys, I am excited today because I get to talk about a fragrance that had me in like a chokehold, man, for the last couple of months. This is a fragrance that every time I come into my office, I make sure I get a sniff on. I take the cap off of and get a good whiff of, spray it on hand, spray it on tester strip, just because it is a beautiful fragrance. It's also very dear to my heart because it has two of my favorite words in the English language in its title. That's mezcal and anejo. Well, actually, I don't know if that's English technically, but anyway, so those are two of my favorite words, mezcal and anejo, man, and this has both of them in the name. Now, before I even get into the fragrance itself, this comes from a house called Kelly+Jones. Now, Kelly+Jones has been around for a little while, and they make fragrances that are specifically designed for people who are doing wine tastings and things like that. Because if you've ever been to a wine tasting, you know that they don't really like for you to have on any type of loud fragrances. They are very opposed to you having any type of floral type of fragrances on, and it's because it interferes with more sensitive palates when it comes to the wine tasting process. So and it kind of keeps people from enjoying it so much. So they're not really fans of that. Well, Kelly+Jones specifically started out, Kelly+Jones herself specifically had an experience at a wine tasting with this, and she's got the backstory on her website, guys. I make sure you go check it out. But she started designing fragrances that are made specifically to be accessible and usable for people who are doing these wine tastings. Basically something you can pair along with the wine. So I clicked on her page when I saw the blazing mezcal and anejo words on a post of hers, and just started going through a lot of the fragrances that she had. And I mean, she has a very eclectic assortment of mostly alcohol-based type of fragrances. Some of them, I mean, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I gotta get my nose on that. Oh, I gotta get my nose on that too. Got a sample kit. So I've got quite a few in the mezcal line that I have that I'm gonna be getting full bottles of out of the sample kit that I got. But the first, of course, is this one right here. This is Kelly+Jones Mezcal Anejo. I love the simplicity and the beauty of that particular bottle here too. This is a beautiful fragrance. Spoiler alert, I love this particular fragrance. It is something that kind of encapsulates what a nice glass of anejo would be. So let me go into the notes on this particular fragrance first. So the notes are velvet jasmine, leather, smoked amber, guaylo, and golden peach. And yes, I said peach. One of the superstars of this particular fragrance is this photorealistic peach note that carries throughout the life of the fragrance. It's something that adds not only a nice sweetness, but also kind of a distinctiveness, a little bit of depth. And the way that peach plays off of the amber in this particular fragrance, man, it leaves an impression. So let me get this on skin probably too, but I'm gonna get this on a test strip so you can see what the atomizer looks like. Look at the atomizer here. So now when you first spray this fragrance on, the first thing you pick up is that resinousness of this particular fragrance. It's got that amber, that smoked amber that's pushing. It's not super smoky though, but you do get off the top, you get the vibes of an anejo tequila. You are definitely smelling a nice anejo tequila on the rocks, almost like a cooled down type of anejo. And then to make it even better, you've got this beautiful peach, that photorealistic peach that I was describing, just kind of sitting there in the background and accenting that amber and that anejo. And it is a beautiful blend of those things, right? There's nothing that's sticking out as far as like, okay, this fragrance is gonna develop into something, right? It's not something where it's like I'm gonna get a whole blast of anejo at the top and then that's gonna kind of settle down into something else, or the peach is gonna leave after a little while. The peach lasts throughout the life of this particular fragrance. It's lingering ever so beautifully in the background. It gives almost a delicate type of feel to the fragrance, but you're still getting a pretty powerful anejo and amber blend. Matter of fact, I will say that when you use this particular fragrance, you make sure that you don't go more than about 4 sprays or so, because it can definitely clear out a room. It is a potent, powerful fragrance, but at the same time, it's got this subtleness to it, right? It's got this smoothness to this particular fragrance, to where if you're in an environment and you're wearing this and you're pretty conservative with your sprays, it just blends in so perfectly into an environment, except for the peach note. The peach note is the thing that kind of dances on people's heads. So when you pass by somebody, the amber and anejo blend is there, and you're picking that up, but it's that peach that lingers in that sillage. It's that peach that starts calling people's attention to you when you're walking by them. Man, this is another one that, on like a yacht party or something like that, on a great like breezy day, especially in like the spring or in the fall, this one, if this gets in the air, it's gonna be like a snake charmer. It's gonna bring anybody that's within like a downwind area of this particular fragrance to you. They're gonna be asking you, what is that you're wearing? Now, speaking to that, this thing is one of those fragrances that people will definitely inquire about. Like, what is it that you're wearing? The first time I wore this particular fragrance, I had 4 people, actually 5 technically, stop me and ask me what it was, what the fragrance was that I was wearing. I had a couple people in the Uber, one in particular, it was 2 girls in the ride, so I count them as one. They were talking, and all of a sudden one of them says, "Stop, girl, stop. Sir, what is it that you are wearing?" So I was like, "It's probably my cologne. It's Mezcal Anejo by KellyJones." She was like, "Whatever it is, write that down. I have to get some of that." So it has that kind of compliment juice to it. I had a lady commented on it when I was walking through Target. She kind of followed me from the soda aisle to the frozen food section, and she was like, "I thought that was you that I was smelling, so I just kind of followed you around. I wasn't trying to be creepy. I just was trying to make sure it was you." And she asked me what it was I was wearing. It's this again. And then I was walking through the parking deck, and got a solicited comment that my wife would probably be very upset if she heard. I already told her about it, but yeah, a young lady was very intrigued by this particular fragrance. So it's definitely got some compliment juice to it. The wearing experience is great because you know that people are smelling you, even if you're not smelling you. You know that they're catching whiffs of this thing. This is also one of those peaches that, if you think about Tom Ford's like peach, you think about the Maison Alhambra alternative as well, like the bright peach. You think of a lot of those. When you smell a lot of peach fragrances, the peach kind of comes across as synthetic, or it comes off as too juicy, or it comes off as a little bit too thick. The peach in this particular fragrance does not come off as thick. It actually comes off like you took a fresh peach and you sliced that fresh peach and you just kind of whiffed it around your nose. Or better yet, if you took that sliced peach, you sliced a bit of it and dropped it in your cup of anejo. That's what it smells like. Beautifully blended, beautiful in the air. Longevity is amazing. This stuff actually lasted on me probably about 10 hours when I first sprayed it on. It was there for a long time, and on clothes it stayed till I washed. So I love every aspect of the wearing experience with it, because it had that potency, but at the same time it had that subtlety to where I knew when I walked in a room that people could smell me, and if I walked past them, that peach was gonna definitely alert them that I was there, but I knew that I wasn't smelling like anybody else in the room. So I have to give a thumbs up to the performance, to the sillage, to the blend on this. And right now, guys, the other thing about this is the price point isn't that bad on these particular things. I would suggest going to KellyJones.com. You could pick up a mezcal, eau de mezcal sample kit on the website, I think for like $20, and it has like 4 fragrances in there. I think it's $7 per extra sample that you got, and the samples aren't that bad. I mean, you can get 2 or 3 wears, you get 2 or 3 wears out of each sample, because these things are potent. Like once they get on, they're on. And people are gonna smell it. They definitely push off of your skin. They project very, very well. So man, you get you a couple of those sample kits, like samples, like I said, you get the sample flight for $20, add a couple other ones, you might pay $35, but you've got a wearing experience that's not only unique, but you might find your next first love in this particular kit, man. I love this particular fragrance. Shout out to Kelly+Jones and everybody in her team, man. She's doing good work, man. I love it. That's all I got for this particular fragrance right now, guys. Make sure you try to put your nose on something in this sample kit. I think the next one I'm going with, if I'm not mistaken, is the Verde. Yeah, the Mezcal Verde, that's the next one. So be looking for a review on that one, because I think I'm gonna try to get that order in the next couple of days. But make sure, guys, that you put your nose on this particular house. I think it's one of those houses that's kind of coming up, and I think it's gonna be one that people are gonna know the name of here very shortly. That's all I got right now, guys. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you share this with somebody you know that loves fragrances. And that's all I got. Peace out.